So, tell me, what did you think about the play?
It was very well done, I thought. You could really feel the pain of the two lovers coming through in the acting. I was surprised the play ended without the two of them getting together.
Oh, so do you think the play would have been more meaningful if the two had found each other? His grin had taken on a knowing tilt.
Yes? They worked so hard to find each other just to give up in the end. It feels wrong. I know that in real life, obviously, it doesn't always work out that way, but in fiction someone has control over the events of the story. Even if it isn't always realistic, people should come together.
He regarded me with a quiet smile for a moment. Interesting that you feel that way. I seem to recall you claiming love is nothing but a lie. I brushed my hair back over my ear, embarrassed at having the inconsistency pointed out.
I don't think I felt that way for a while now, actually.
I'm glad to hear that. His smile deepened, and I could feel the warmth radiating from him. Do you want to know why I took you to see his play? You see, this play has the motive of searching for love that is right under your nose. How many times did their paths almost cross, even though they had no way of knowing someone that loved them was out there somewhere? And, well, I want you to know that regardless of how tonight goes, even if I'm not the one to help bring romance into life, that love is still out there waiting for you.
Realize the example you're using has the two lovers never met, right?
He goes anxiously. Well, but there weren't any other plays or movies with a team any closer to the message I wanted, so I had to work with what was out there.
I can see that you have tried very hard to see this all up for my sake, yeah?
He slowed, then stopped completely, staring at the path beneath us, as though it might return some sort of answer. Just as I was about to ask why he stopped, his head popped up again, causing his hair to bounce.
Am I doing alright on this date? This is how they typically go, right? Are you enjoying yourself? Does this feel romantic? Honestly, don't know. I've never done anything like this before.
Ouch. You've never been on a date. Not good.
Fine. You're doing fine. Great time. Really? Oh, that's great. I'm relieved.
He chuckled at himself. I wish I had more experience navigating something like this. How to explain this? I've never really been in a position where I've been terribly interested in dating someone before. I remember watching everyone around me start pursuing a relationship and wondering why it was I never felt the same way. It was a little weird, because I've always been a romantic at heart. I was the kid grinning at the end of every Disney movie, who never cringed away from cinematic kisses, things like that. I loved love, but I didn't want to do the dating thing. I found out later that I'm asexual, which explains so much.
Asexual?
My nose wrinkled in confusion.
Is that really possible?
He gave me a weak grin. It just means I don't feel any kind of physical attraction to people, but that doesn't impair my ability to love, or to love romance. In fact, that was part of why I was initially approached by the agents of Cupid. They saw someone who valued love strongly, who wouldn't be distracted by their sexuality, but I would be able to focus on the chemistry of a potential match instead of what might turn me on. For once, it was a benefit of to be asexual, instead of feeling like I must be broken. Plus, when I say I'm romantic, I mean it. He chuckled softly. I love my job. I can help bring happiness to people, and in a field I care deeply about. Safe.
Wait, no one ever? Really? No one has made your heart race?
He stared blankly for a moment before swallowing and glancing away quickly.
That's one of those, see, there's romantic affection and there's,
He dissolved into a nervous giggle. He cleared his throat abruptly.
It always felt natural to stand outside of everyone else's circle. I could observe others in peace, and I've been pretty good at blending in with the crowd, without being overly partial to one or the other. But I can do that with you. I feel like I owe you better than that. Especially because
I waited for him to continue, but instead a war waged itself in his eyes. He couldn't bring what he wanted to say out. Come on, say it. I decided to give him a little nudge. What? When he met my gaze again, a deep sorrow replaced his usual enthusiasm and energy. It's my fault. It's my fault he dumped you, that you've been hurting all this time. I'm the one who matched you two in the first place. My body went cold, despite the warm, humid air against my skin. What? He cringed, biting his lip, and started pacing. It was years ago. I was just getting started as an agent of Cupid, and was still figuring out how to do what I was supposed to do. My mentor at the time had given me a few tips for shortcutting the process, since we all had a quota we had to meet by the end of each month, and one of them was matching people with a reasonable compatibility and using the affection boost from Cupid's arrow to keep the infatuation going until... His voice dropped in regret. Until wealth became a habit. Until people stayed together because that was all they knew to do. You what? He flinched at the chill in my tone. It was no coincidence that I was nearby when he broke things off. I was on my way to try and fix things, to try and reinforce the affection between the two of you. But I came too late, and I saw how he treated you, and it finally hit me what I'd done, my mistake. There were tears in his eyes now, already spilling over. I broke her faith in love. I can't stand myself for what I've done to you. But I wanted to make everything up to you somehow, if there was anything I could do. I'd been rendered completely numb by the cold shock of everything he told me. My eyes stung, and a few tears of my own slipped down my cheeks. What have you done to Arya? I said this before, she's like my daughter here. I will have to kick your ass. No, you! Seeing me cry was as effective as a slap on his face. He panicked. I'm sorry, I can't apologize now for what I've done. I held up my hand, glaring at him through the tears. Just stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't care anymore. I turned on my heel and stalked off, pausing on it to finalize my surrender. Just leave me alone. I'm done. Are you? He cried after me, pain choking his voice. Please, don't go! I'm not sure how long I sat in my room, huddled on my bed, pillow clutched to me. I was aware of the slow leak of morning replacing the darkness in my room, but only under the dull drop in my head. No was the reason I'd ever gotten involved with Cave. Cave and I could have been friends. I could have found someone who genuinely loved me, but Noah had some quota to fill. I was a number in his database, a profile with a compatibility percentage too low to find anyone for. And he had the audacity to try and come to me after he ruined my life and pretend like he was just some helpful stranger. I gripped the pillow tight against me. Saying he ruined my life wasn't fair. Cave and I had been happy, at least at first. It ended badly, and there had been signs of things going wrong for some time. But he also gave me some of my most treasured memories. That was worth something, wasn't it? And Noah. His face flashed in my mind. Smiling, enthusiastic, sweet Noah. I think I was angry that I'd started to trust him then. I was to learn that he had any hand in my pain, that he'd managed to put his thumb right in my heart and massage it back to life. I wondered, why did it hurt worse cutting out Noah than it had been to be cut out of by Kate? Maybe because he'd worked so hard to make it up to me. Then he'd been so earnest wanting to help me, that he'd put himself on the market for me. I was mad that he hadn't told me the whole truth, but hadn't everything he'd done since I met him been for my sake? Yet I wouldn't have been that heartbroken in the first place if not for him. My phone buzzed with a call. A quick check. Noah's name popped up. A fresh burst of pain seized me, and I ignored it, letting it shiver on the bed. He tried again, his name lighting up the display of my phone, but I refused. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't afford to cry again. After the second attempt, The call went to voicemail. Another buzz let me know he'd left one. I also ignored the fact, let it slide for later, but I had a strange dread in my gut. Something told me I had to listen to that voicemail. I dialed my inbox. I guess I understand why you're not answering me right now. His voice was heavier than I'd ever heard before, burdened with sorrow. I've caused you so much pain. I can bear that fact, and it's probably actually better that you not talk to me right now. I wanted to say that I'm so sorry. I'm not. He choked on his words. I'm not going to push this anymore. I still feel you deserve to find love again sometime, but I can't keep mending and hurting you, or anyone else. That's why I'm going to be leaving the agency. I'm not going to do this to anyone, ever, again. I wanted to let you know that, even though I hurt you, I've never been happier than when I saw you start to laugh again. So please, keep laughing. Find things that make you happy. I regret that I could never be one of them. Goodbye. Okay, Arya, this is for your own happiness again. Probably. Before the voicemail could even close, I dialed the callback on my pad. It ranged a couple times before he tentatively answered. And now the action music. Arya? Noah, where are you right now? I'm on my way to the locate agency chapter. No, where are you standing right now? I'm in the park, not too far from the pond. You park your butt right there, because I'm coming. Don't you dare take another step. You park your butt there. Good one. Whoa, what? I hung up and threw my shoes on. A new sort of adrenaline pumped through me. I was furious and I didn't fully understand why. All I knew was that I had to stop him. Noah! I shouted at him the moment I saw his profile in the distance. I jogged over to a very confused Noah. Arya, I don't understand. Why did you tell me to stop? You're an idiot! I started throwing my hands wide in exasperation. What are you talking about, quitting the agency? You're going to throw everything away? Just like that? Is that easy for you to just give up? To stop caring about the happiness you bring people? No, it's not that it's easy, but He shifted from bewildered to angry. I'm not just giving up, I'm just tired of hurting you, of hurting everyone. Who knows how many others I've hurt in my efforts to keep some sort of quota. No, I have to quit before I do any more harm. If that's not giving up, what do you call it then? How dare you try to tell me not to give up on love when all it takes is one bad day to make you want to quit your job? He flared in fury, an expression I'd never seen on him before. That's not what I'm doing, I'm only hurting people with what I do. Bullshit! You take a broken person and make me happy again in less time than it ever took me to fall in love with Cave. And who broke you in the first place? He paced back and forth in front of me. It was my fault for pairing you up with that asshole. He rose, staring wide-eyed at me. Happy? The shift in his expression was enough to launch me into a fit of giggles. No, I hurt you, I didn't. No, I'm pretty sure I know myself better than you, even with a fancy profile highlighting every little detail. You made me happy, you worked so hard for my sake. You were always so cheerful for me, so concerned over me. How could someone not be happy with someone as sweet as you doting on them like that? You... what? Don't quit! Don't quit! Don't quit! Oh, I got the guy. Okay, whatever. Let's say this. I felt my face burn as the realization hit me. With all that you've done, how could I not fall for you? She said she loves him. He stared, not fathoming the words. When it finally registered, he turned redder than his vest.
What? I thought... Wait!
He dug around in his bag frantically.
Cupidaro, I must have accidentally matched the two of us when I was looking at it the other day. Yeah, that must be it.
Words came out faster than he could keep up with.
I was tempted too because I wanted to make you happy, but I knew it was wrong, so I stopped. But maybe I actually made the connection without realizing it. I mean that would explain the way I'm feeling about you since last night.
I gently put my hand on his to stop the panic surge, smiling when he looked to me in askance.
No, this isn't a match. This doesn't feel the same as when I fell for cave. It feels warm, light, like a light bulb turning on me in my chest.
The bag slipped from his arm, his hand gripping mine in return. His eyes shone with fresh tears despite the slowly growing smile. You put it into words the way I've been feeling about you lately, and
you feel the same?
He spoke with tremulous wonder.
It doesn't seem real.
I pressed his palm against my cheek, closing my eyes.
You said your goal was to make me fall in love again. You never said it couldn't be you.
Hey, he chuckled awkwardly.
Well, actually, when I first showed up as a match,
He stopped.
Probably because I interrupted him with a kiss.
She did.
He stiffened at first, then slowly deepened it. His free arm went around her waist, and the hand that had been at my cheek sliding around to the back of my head, fingers in my hair. She'd never been kissed like this before, slow, burning, but consuming everything until her mind turned to mush. She drank in every second of it, feeling him shaking the entire time.
They finally parted and looked up into his eyes. She did it, overwhelmed by the love she saw shining there.
After our senses returned,
he started giggling. Sorry about that. The bottle, keeping my face in both of his hands. She grinned. I grinned.
I think you've done your job very well.
He laughed heartily in response.
Actually, I'm pretty sure this counts as doing the terrible job. I'm really not supposed to be a match, you know. Do I have to shut you up with another kiss? She said.
He grinned.
Maybe.
Noah had a very hard time adjusting to the role of boyfriend. He showered me with affection, greeting me with a text every morning and asking for opportunities to meet up. He really, genuinely had never been in love before. Everything was new to him, but he loved with every fiber in his being, with the same resolution he committed to finding me a match before. Every day, he swore, was a new opportunity to remind me how wonderful love could be. I made my own oath to show him the same. 100% compatibility. The Cupid's arrow had not been wrong. Something had tied the two of us together, even back when he first matched me with Cave. The more we knew each other, the more fated it seemed. He got a memo from his superiors not too long after we'd started seeing each other, saying that typically they do not allow the names of their agents to be registered in the Cupid's arrow, but had let things slide just this once. After explaining how strange it was for them to send such a memo in the first place, Noah speculated that the big boss himself might have intervened, dropping Noah's name into the Cupid's arrow as part of some bigger plan. His boundless enthusiasm pushed me when I started to flag or give up, and I grounded him whenever he soared to a height he couldn't get down from. We worked in perfect tandem, hand in hand, moving forward. And we loved. It was miracle enough. My favorite match, that's the title of the game. Lindsay Bowling. Okay, arts, music, and so on. So credits you can see. Probably not so long. Thank you for playing. Well, that was fun. That really was fun. No, these short games really somehow brings happiness to me. Games like don't know why, but it works like that somehow. Right, I can't move out of here.
I guess. Never mind. Alright, that was my favorite match. Even so I've said that like 5 seconds ago as well. But yeah, that was a nice game. And repeating myself again. Let's end it here. Hope you enjoyed it and prepare for the next game. See you then. Bye.